It's really crackly, isn't it? It almost sounds like late.
in the place to be. The percussion thumping, hand claps, a precise voice on the microphone is recognized the ice. Hardcore rhyme, rock a mic, attacking the joint. Listen closely to my lyrics and you get my point. We're rocking well and this is easy to prove. With the cold crush bass that creates the groove. Kick thumping, stand bumping so your body keeps rocking. Programmed by a b-boy so the rhythm keeps locking. Tap scratching completes the jam. And a rapper on the mic, that's who I am. Professional mic mechanic standing oh so chill. When it comes to rocking parties, yes, I'm the pill. I make ladies scream while the hustlers smile. The b-boys do work in the hip-hop style. But the squares won't dance cause they're just all fakes. And they can't understand the commands of the breaks. The breaks. You don't quit. In trance on the beats that we present, you realize that you'll find no equivalent to this funky rockin' that we display. You wanna get it, wanna own it, and you're willing to pay. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not trying to say it, just proving a point. And you say, hell yeah, this beat is crushing. End of discussion. Evil E can motivate the butt of a Russian track slave. Sequence like a pole on a fence to keep the whack beats out and let the funk commence a chance. Kick patterns on a rate and the pace, while my beat controls your actions like a gun in your face. Hardcore rhyme rhythm that a b-boy pace. Here piercing high. This that big bass all contrived and derived to assault the crowd with the meters up high, so it comes out loud. You don't quit. Mid-rad, cold rockin' it. Spin masters in the place to be. With rhymes organic, deaf and dynamic. Girls look and listen, try not to panic. Move close to the stage so we can get frantic. Later we can break out and get. We're never letting you rest, never feeling no stress. Some people say the way we rock, we got to be blessed. But that's their opinion, and they're entitled to it. But when it comes to rock our house, we always try to do it. And if we don't dig it, we don't care. Cause I said before, it's not for something born to be square. Just people who appreciate the sound of the street and the voice of a rapper when he's riding the beat. I'm like a hyper computer, bombarding the jam. With percussions in my back, the mic in my hand. This beat so deaf, you just can't sit. Rock it evilly, you don't quit. You don't quit. Mid-rad, cold rockin' it. Spin masters in the place to be. A lot of rappers in the game are looking for the instant fame, but only one MC will win. So listen close as I begin to show you how to map the rocks. Increase the volume on your box, but you'll be users, they react to evilly as he attack.
Gabba.
Okay, so it's the great thing about doing a show, and you've got like two kind of like sound engineering heads in. Hopefully things are sounding a little bit better, but
When sound engineers are here, that shit breaks though as well.
exactly, I've noticed that both of you have nearly spelt beer on the 4-track, the
But we
mixer as well.
haven't, though.
But you haven't, and that's
See,
fine.
and that is also
It's very true. Almost doesn't matter.
that is an audio engineering like skill, getting very close.
Yeah.
Spilling beer on everything.
Yeah.
But never actually doing it.
So we played a couple of tunes. So we played, obviously, we were having a chat about the Box Maria beforehand. And I was just going to tell you a funny story. We had them play for our second birthday party, Exploding Heads. And I just remember, like, it was just it's a mental night. And I just remember just seeing these people just completely lose it on the dance floor, which just reminded me of, like, when I used to do a flyering for an old, like, Gabba Happy Hardcore night. And then, lo and behold, with a little bit of New Order sandwiched in between, there's a Gabba record.
Down straight, Hellfish.
So, Hellfish, so yeah. So, I mean, my knowledge of Gabba is, like, really really limited. I just used to do flying for this night and just find it kind of funny. But I sort of enjoyed that. It was good. So Hellfish, what are they like?
What is Hellfish? Hellfish is a guy who runs a record label called Death Chant, and that was like UK hardcore, 90s hardcore label. Yeah. And I think I released a record on them in about 2005, I think. And it was just like, because I used to do like horrible breakcore Gabba stuff.
Yeah.
And, I was kind of like, holy shit, I'm releasing a record on Death Chant. This is crazy. And I was speaking to Julian, who is Hellfish, and he was like, yeah, if this was 10 years ago, you'd probably be able to like buy a house off of this record, but I'm not going to pay you anything. And I was like, great, thanks.
Right.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah. Was that just because he could do that? Was he raking the money in?
No, just the record industry.
The bottom had fallen out.
Yeah, exactly. It was just record sales at that point. Yeah, where it went from someone releasing a white label and being able to sell 30,000 of them to suddenly like, well, we can do 300 and we might sell them. We're not sure. So yeah, that was kind of.
And you said you used to DJ, so you lived in Rotterdam?
No, I lived in the UK, but I used to
DJ out there.
Yeah, I used to play out in Rotterdam and Belgium very often at nights, like Breakcore Gives Me Wood and stuff like that. That were these like crazy like raves, like 2,000-3,000 people, but with just the most obnoxious crazy breakcore. But it was all very like punk spirited.
Yeah,
like because like like Gabba, like with Gabbas and stuff like that, the people that have the fashion and stuff like that. All good.
Good.
Apparently we fixed the sound.
Yeah,
good job.
Keep on talking about Gabba.
Yeah. So Gabba was just like our kind of take on Gabba, which was like with the Wrong Music crew and stuff like that in Brighton, was kind of just reappropriating stuff like most kind of punk people do. Where you take something that's a little bit like, bit right wing, but you just take the fucking piss out of it and just create this ridiculously like energetic music. And so I remember like my first like Gabba record, I think it was just like fart noises with kick drums underneath it. It was so basic. You
should have brought it down.
Yeah, it's probably on the internet somewhere. We can probably find it.
We're gonna do a Gabba special at some point.
Yeah, we should, man. Yeah, it's like because and it's just like a lot of it, like the whole Wrong Music thing was like we ended up doing like Maid of Ale sessions and stuff like that. We were chatting about Hugh Stevens earlier on. Yeah, and so some people did like John Peel sessions, and then the poor bastard died, and so I did a Hugh Stevens, and it was just like in Maid of Ale with laptops just playing fucking ridiculous Gabba. Like, what are we doing here? Like, how are we here? Like, what's going on? And so it was like super fun. And
going back, I think it was because we were chatting. I was saying, I'm sure there was this Gabba record. Just where it was just called "Fuck Off Cunt Face." Oh, someone's playing some. Record's not good enough. You're enjoying it.
She's playing.
She's looking for Gabba. She's like, come on, Gabba records.
She's playing all of her records that we didn't play earlier.
But I'm pretty sure that was we heard that on John Peel, and someone had taped it and just used to play it.
Yeah, like some of my friends were like in his last ever show that he played. Like Shipmap, I think, was like played on his last ever show and stuff like that. And so it was a bit of a crazy thing at that point where it was just like people like Venetian Snares were like the big guys, kind of in the whole scene, and we were just the ridiculous kids running around.
He came down, so I always mention I was brought up in the far end of Cornwall, down in Penzance. He did it was repeated about sort of 5-6 years ago on Channel 4. For Channel 4 he did a thing, I think it was called something like Sound of the Suburbs, and he went around the whole of the UK just finding like the live music scenes. And some guys I hung out with were they ended up being signed by Johnny Marr. This is again going back sort of like 20 odd years ago. Yeah. And they ended up releasing a couple of albums, and they were kind of part of that indie scene. But he came down, I think Johnny Marr pulled some strings, and he came down to film them. Yeah. But then my mate's band, who were like a Cornish death metal band called Bogfiller, got the gig to do the warm-up slot. But he came down, and they hired a venue, and they filmed it all. It was on channel. Yeah. There's some footage of me like with really long hair, sort of like moshing around, which is kind of funny. Which was kind of funny when I came home pissed. About sort of 5-6 years ago, and just found it on telly. There I was. Yeah. But he was a good guy. He was an interesting bloke. Do you know what I mean? It was like Yeah, totally. We saw this amazing story. They told us where they basically the thing they played with him where they gave him a tape because it was still on these cassette. Yeah. And he went, "Oh, thanks." And he opened up his boot. And he just put it on top. Really? Hundreds of cassettes. Of course. This is never couldn't play them all. Hiring skips to get them out.
Amazing.
Cool. All right then. So we obviously so Gabba then. So it's fascinating. So Gabba was that came before. So electronic music came before?
I was
guitar,
in
or-
I was in like a noise-core band with the first band that I was in that was like any good was like early university kind of time, and that was with Tom from Ghost of 1000. But then at the same time, basically when I was at uni, if you were dyslexic, you got given a laptop just to be like, don't complain about being dyslexic, have a laptop.
I remember.
And so I was like, cool, okay, so obviously I'm not going to use it for dyslexic stuff. I'm going to write Gabba on it. And there was a big old group of us that were kind of doing that. We were like, hey, you got this laptop? It's like, yeah. It's like, I got a cracked copy of Cubase. It's like fucking wicked. And so we all started we were all like in punk bands and stuff like that, but we didn't really know what we were doing with music production. And so, kind of Gabba is just one of those things where it's a kick drum.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, I kind of understand this. Just if I keep distorting it, if I keep putting it through like distortion pedals, it starts to sound like music. And so a couple of friends had started this night called Wrong Music, which was like at the Free Butt in Brighton, and then moved to the Vault.
Love the Free Butt.
Yeah, but it was
R&B.
this crazy thing that it's just like, it started off with like 50 people, and then it was like, fucking hell, there's like 200 people here, 300 people, 400 people, and it just got completely out of control. And we were like, what the hell's going on? We're just playing ridiculous music. And it was where I kind of met DJ Scotch Egg, Shit Matt. Oh God, yeah, lots of there was loads of us kind of from this one little crew. And that was kind of like the start of my not music career, but when it was just like, oh shit, I'm getting paid for gigs and there's kind of a living in this if I wanted it to be. So spent kind of 2 or 3 years bumbling around kind of doing that. Then I started playing in punk bands again when I moved to London, and that was kind of and it took about 2 or 3 years for me to find my feet in London though, to actually find decent punk music, because we were like playing like the Bugbear scene and shit. I was like, God, this music's terrible. But then we found a DIY night probably about 12 years ago called Rip This Joint, and that was it. Kind of everything changed for me, and it was kind of, I stopped doing electronic music for a long time and then just kind of played in punk bands, and that's when I started recording people. And then with my 2 current projects, it's kind of like the Gabba thing that I used to do, crossed over.
Definitely with Pet Brick. I mean,
and Big Lad is well ravey, and like, so we use those old contacts, like, so we play Bang Face and those kind of weird nights. And so, although I'm not really playing in guitar bands at the moment, both from like electronic drum crossover stuff.
Your drummer in Big Lad is an absolute beast.
He's a monster. He is absolute,
beast.
yeah. Like, if you like check out his other band, like Shield Your Eyes, he was in, but now he's in a band called Reciprocate, and he plays with a guitarist that is as freakishly good as him. But it's just this like wild blues, mad jazz stuff. It's like super cool. But yeah, Henry is just like off the hook. And so he emailed me to be like, hey, do you want to do like a electronic crossover thing? And I'd seen him play the drums. I was like, hell fucking yeah. Like, I think you're probably the one guy that I know that can do like breakcore drums live, and that's the Big Lad thing.
Yeah, I saw the videos on Instagram of him in the recording studio, and I'm just like,
so fast,
absolutely madman.
Yeah, should we play some Big Lad?
Let's play a Big Lad tune. I've got that cued.
Hello.
Right, okay. So we were just chatting away. All those tunes were playing.
All the
So
good chat.
we had a Big Lad record.
Yep.
Yeah, What was
Awesome.
that? What was it? The next tune?
That's Clamp. It's a band. It's like the last band I recorded before lockdown.
Right, okay.
Basically, so like super fresh. But they managed to get a record out this year, which is really good going. But it's like a guy called Lee Vincent that's been in. He was in Pulled Apart by Horses, but also kind of a few other weird bands that I've kind of recorded over the last couple of years. And a guy called Greg, who's a guitarist, totally mad. And the other guy I've forgotten, and he's really going to get annoyed because I've recorded about 3 of his bands. And I've released a record on his record label, God Unknown.
This is what I guess like, man. As you get older, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, totally, you know.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to think how to fix these microphones, even though they're fixed.
Yeah,
That's the audio engineer's kind of like brain going on.
What could have been? What was
But yeah, Clamp, I think it's probably one of my favourite records of the year.
And where are they based in? Are they a London band? Or?
No, they're kind of like... one of them's out in Belgium, one's in Leeds, and one's in London. Okay. So it's a bit of a kind of band that comes together.
A difficult band to book.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not even sure they've done any gigs, but like this record is so
sounds massive, man.
So good. Yeah, really weird, sludgy, post-punky.
Yeah, what did
kind
that? What did that go out on? Did that go out?
God Unknown.
Good, right.
So Jason, there you go. Right. Jason's record label, God Unknown. Jace.
Yeah, connect the dots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, check it out. It's really a fucking killer record.
Because you guys, you have a kind of, you're part of the Homing, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So I run that label with like Matt, Gordon, and Graham. Yeah. It's chaotic running a record label and a studio at the same time. I'm amazed that we've managed to last as long as we have. Yeah. But to be honest, this year's been the best year we've had with Hominid. Like, really feel as like we sold a lot of records because of lockdown, I think, and the Bandcamp no fee days have been amazing.
I think that's really helped.
Yeah, really.
Dick, I know obviously because you had that Blast collab, didn't you, at the beginning of lockdown, and people really got behind it, didn't they? And went crazy for it. So that deck.
Well, lockdown was the busiest for us in the history of the shop.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, totally. I think a lot of people have been really amazing with independent stuff. Just like. This year I've been really cautious not to spend money on Amazon. Just like fuck. Yeah. Well, you get in this habit of convenience, and I think that's been something that lockdown's been really good for. Is to be like, just think about it, take your time, and you don't just have to spend all your money on Amazon.
Yeah. It's funny because a lot of the smaller businesses have been around. The bigger businesses haven't, because they've obviously closed down and furloughed everyone. But it's the smaller businesses that have been there.
Kept going,
Absolutely.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Same in this sort of world, because obviously all the bigger companies that are online.
Yeah.
In the first lockdown, they weren't doing anything.
Nah, sure.
Especially your barber opposite, apparently, has been cutting people's hair behind with the shutters down. Just like Marty was telling me that.
This last one was.
We won't give out the address in case there's any, any snitches out there, but you got to do what you got to do, man. You got to survive, haven't you? No one's going to begrudge you for it.
No, that's it, and it really was. It's all of the records we've released this year have been our best sellers that we've ever done.
Does it help doing the label because there's a few of you as well? Do you think it sort of takes the pressure off?
Yeah, but although I think everyone's kind of just got really busy as well with work as well, and it's just like it's that kind of weird, difficult balance. So we've actually started employing someone for the first time. Wow. Aaron, who's listening, thanks Aaron for the help. Yeah. But it just got to that point where it's like I think we're probably gonna either like everyone's just gonna concentrate on their lives, or we start paying someone once a week. Yeah. And just see if we can afford it. Whether or not we can or not, we don't know yet. But we've managed to get a new distribution deal and all of that kind of stuff to kind of hopefully sell a few more records. Yeah. We don't want to make any money, but also the bonus is it's like if we can pay a mate, that's amazing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like give some like a friend some money, like once a week. Just like wow, DIY is fucking cool when this shit happens.
Yeah. We were saying this last week because we had a guy, Ian Charles Carter. I don't know if you know him, but we were just saying how actually doing stuff just creates more opportunity. It just gets you doing more fun stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Basically.
Yeah,
and it's not money isn't necessarily has to be the motivation of it.
No,
there's not much money to be made.
I mean, it's often DIY.
Not,
if it is, you're kind of screwed with it.
Totally. Yeah, but I think I work with a couple of bands like John. I've just done
Have you?
Yeah, so I did their last 2 albums and an EP, I think, and I've just done their new one. And it's like that band's doing amazing.
Yeah,
and
we've sort of been. I think we've been in constant contact with them for about a year and a half.
Yeah,
and we've never quite made a date work. And then I'm just sort of feeling they might have just slipped out.
Well, I was sitting with John today,
just because they're booking like Lexington, like headline shows at Lexington, and
screw them, get them down there. John, you're coming down here.
Well,
yeah,
good.
No, they
you want to come down and do the radio show, man? That's
yeah.
Like I said, booking guests for this is way easier than booking bands.
Yeah. No, but like they're doing amazingly well, and they've been really savvy about how they've managed themselves, and it is all DIY.
Yeah.
They run all of their own record label. They've sorted their own distro out.
Are they really?
Yeah, and like everything, and it's just like it's pretty amazing. Like seeing it, and you're like, yeah, you guys probably make a living off this if you wanted to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Is there anything coming up on Hominid that's in the pipeline? Or
at the moment, we had to delay a couple of records for new bands that we really want to be able to tour the record and stuff like that. So we've got an amazing band called Black Shape, and I think I've recorded 2 or 3 albums. They're so prolific that are just sitting there waiting to come out. But because they're relatively unknown, we want as many people to listen to it as possible.
And you do the bookings as well? Then do you sort of plan the sort of
like we're gonna like we try and help as much as we can. Yeah. We have a network between us, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we're like, like these guys have booked us, so it's kind of cool. Yeah. DIY vibes.
Yeah, of course.
But we've got Bloody Head coming up. We're gonna do a Big Lad album. I've got Brux and Maria in next week to record another album, so hopefully we'll do another album with them. Yeah, so 4 or 5 kind of bits, and I'm always just finding like weird stuff to release on tape that maybe 20 people buy. But that's super fun.
Yeah, of course.
As well, So yeah,
cool. So what have we got then? So we've got.
Well, I was gonna. So you touched upon. We've spoken about other projects you've worked on, and you touched upon Cower with, which I was surprised when you mentioned that it was Tom from Ghost of a Thousand and from Yards.
Yeah.
Doing the vocals.
Yeah.
Because it's a completely different on the most part.
No, but I think that whole record's kind of different for like me. Like me, Tom, and Gareth from USA Nails wrote that record at the end of last year. I think we just went into the studio for like 3 days, and I'm really into like my own projects. Going into a studio with nothing, writing and recording.
Oh, so this was literally
totally
not
just
even
like
a kind of like we've been practicing for a few months. Yeah, and let's record some stuff.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, it was just kind of write it, see what we've got, and the Cower record really came together really unusually. I think we were kind of just going for like, we'll just do that post-punk thing that we all kind of know, but then we did this one kind of piano song. And it kind of was a bit ballady and a bit gothy, and we were like, this is really fucking cool. Like, maybe let's push the goth thing a bit more. And so, so this Cower record came out in the middle of lockdown. We've never played any shows, but the guys from Human Worth, which is
Owen,
and Modern Technology,
we know well. Modern Technology. So Modern Technology played for us at one of our sessions. And then put out our live session, the whole thing, as a pay what you want. I think was it pay what you want, or it was a charity release anyway with like all the I know they do all the stuff with like shelter. I think
exactly. So
that was great. So Owen and I can't remember the other guy's name, but Chris.
Yeah.
Owen and Chris.
I remember when they played because he's just properly ferocious. Isn't he? He's the bass player.
Dude, they're such an incredible sounding band.
Because we used to interview them, like I used to call it band speed dating with the bell. After they played, and then we put that on the podcast. And he was just exhausted.
Yeah. And they're the sweetest dudes as well.
Yeah, and the whole Human Worth thing is like, they someone that we've earmarked to try and want to get them down on there.
Totally,
talk about the project and stuff.
Yeah. Like I think they're really, really amazing dudes. And so and we managed to sell the record out. And I was like, no one's gonna buy this. We're goth music, and but we managed to do a really small pressing as well, like 150. Yeah. And so that's been kind of amazing. So I quite like to play a track off that.
Let's do it. Should have been a bit smoother with the cue.
No, that was good.
Let's do it.
Go hit play.
Yo, we're back.
So just getting into a really
we're getting into a really heated conversation about internet and
internet fraud.
How sophisticated. So this is a really interesting story. So I read this article, you might have read it, but basically this old couple got scammed out of 40k, and it started off where somebody phoned up and said, "Oh yeah, we're from your bank, and we think there's some suspicious activity going on with our own members of staff, and they're taking money out of your account, and we'd like you to be part of the sting and help us catch them." So this old couple were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Well, of course we'll help the bank." And it's got really elaborate. They were doing stuff. They were like, this went on for like months and months and months, and like they were saying, "Oh, so it's getting really serious now. There's like police following them, and in a minute, like an employee's going to ask, they're going to phone up and they're going to say, can you give them 10 grand in cash?" Like on Wednesday, but it's fine because there's police watching and stuff. And this couple went along with it, and they went to the bank and they drew out 10 grand.
Yeah, they
handed
it's like courier scam or something. Everything called it. There's all sorts of different versions of it. Yeah,
it's like at what point?
That's a similar one, wasn't it? About the rice fields.
Curveball. Boom.
Yeah, real curveball.
We're investments, blah blah blah. Do you want to put money into these rice fields and everything? It doubles and it triples and it does this. So they'd start off, they put in like £1,000. They go, just start small. And anyway, these people are giving them back money, going, "Oh, you've made £2 grand now, so we'll give you the £2 grand back. Do you want to reinvest it?" And that basically got up. They were doing that, and they were giving the money back as well. And then it got up to, right, we've got this rice field now that basically, if you invest this much money, you will get like £400,000 back. And because they duped them in, because they were giving them money
like a
back,
long-term sting.
Yeah, they went, "Oh yeah, all right," and then they give them all the money. And that's it.
Well, if anyone wants to invest in a
DIY radio show,
yeah, do it now. For 10 grand.
For fully working quality microphones.
Invest in. Give us a grand, and we'll give it £2 grand back next week.
We'll give you fuck all.
Yeah, we'll give you good sound. Start GoFundMe,
weeks of entertainment.
Exactly.
Two great tunes, or something you can depend on.
Yeah.
Was the quality of the music being played? Because
we've changed the setup around for the microphone, so I have absolutely no idea what's being played.
Doesn't matter.
First we had Cower.
Yeah, so Cower, that was
which is Wayne's band with Gareth. From USA Nails.
Who
is also going to come down at some point, I think.
Well, someone we'd like to get down. We'll have it again. I think we've played USA Nails quite a lot on this
big fans.
Show. And I always go, really good.
So they're one of the first bands that we had. Basically, I'd seen them a few times at the Shacklewell, Victoria. And when we first started the band, we had like a brainstorming kind of like, right, so, what we'd never met before we started this. So we basically met via a mutual friend. So we kind of went on a date sort of thing. We went for a drink.
Hey, dude, that's the two bands that I'm in now. So
Big
Lad and Pet Brick were both like random people, and it was great. It was kind of the first music that I'd done that wasn't based on friendship. And they're the ones that still exist.
Well, yeah.
So
until strangers ask you for money, it's all good.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So we were just very much like, like, what music are you into?
So we had this whole chat.
Awkward. Yeah.
It wasn't that awkward.
No, it wasn't awkward. Yeah. I'd heard of most of the stuff you said, but not all, and likewise, I think. But USA Nails for sure were like. Yeah, I was like, the whole point of starting something like this would be to get a band like USA Nails to come and play. Yeah, and we got them to come down, and we've told this story in many different versions, but we got them to come down and play for us at Paper Dress Vintage, and at that point, I don't think Paper Dress were really
ready
putting on bands like USA Nails, and I'd only just started out in live sound, which was another reason why I wanted to start this, because it was like giving me an opportunity to get behind the desk. And I remember we booked USA Nails, and when they were loading in, those stairs at Paper Dress, they were basically just dragging at least two of them on each stack of amps coming up the stairs. And I just remember standing at the top just like, kill. And they just like stuck them up against the walls, and they were almost like floor to ceiling in paper dress. I don't think any of the guitars went through the PA that night. It was just me with like, you know, the vocals on pretty much like full, just trying to like ducking it out every time they stopped singing so it didn't feed back. Just like literally just amazing. Like that's all we've got. But I mean, they absolutely blew the place apart. And
they're so good. I think I've recorded 5 albums. They
just seem to just get better.
That's it. And I'm booked in to record them in Feb. So more stuff. You know, I think it's an EP, but yeah, it's just like endless. But I've heard, not that they're going to split up, but I think it might slow down soon, because I think Steve is going to move because he's got a baby. And
because there's a few of them had babies. Is it just one of them?
Just Steve, I think. And so I don't know, but I think they'll keep going. And I think they're at that point now where they could just write records and do a tour. You know, and I hope they do as well. If you're listening, guys.
It's funny. I've got a friend who's like a blogger from in LA. Someone I've got another weird internet friend, but he's a good guy. We have a lot of similar music, and he just stumbled across USA Now's himself accidentally, you know, about a year ago. Just going, and I was like, oh, no, we booked these guys. Like,
I really hope that, like, you know, it's one of those bands. I'm just like, God, why don't more people know who these guys are? Like, like they are just like so good. Like, I saw them support Mets, and like, okay, like Mets have the big like rocky kind of thing, but it's just like USA Now's are infinitely more interesting.
I mean, I was literally going to say, like, I loved Mets when I first kind of heard them, the first few albums, but I kind of, with every album that they put out, I don't really get much more from them. But with USA Now, it's just like, I don't know if it's just the kind of the vocal style or just the stuff they write about, but it's like every album seems to just offer like something completely new. And
I think their writing process is super interesting. You know, like they pretty much write a song every time they rehearse, and that's why they just churn through music and albums. You know, and like I always really admire that, where you're just like willing to let stuff go and not get too attached to it. But like, that song might be amazing, but we've written another amazing song, so we're just going to move forwards. And you know, we always laughed that they would tour an album and pretty much not play anything off that album because it moved on to the next one by the time it came out. And so they would just, you know, it's like, they're so good. And Tom from my old band Death Pedals now plays drums in USA Nails, and so that's kind of, again, another weird connection.
He's a great drummer as well.
He is. I've just
seen them play live with him.
With Tom, I was just in the studio with Tom today because I've got another project that I've started, which is kind of like if Part Chimp were a D-beat band, and Tom is kind of playing drums in that. And this EP kind of came together about a month ago, and I don't know, maybe January we might release it. It's pretty fucking cool. It's pretty excited.
What's that
about
called
that one.
then?
It's going to be called Wasted Death. And it's just like dumb fucking D-beat fun.
Sure. Sounds like I've just about embarking on a new project called Tories of Doom.
There it is. Yeah.
So maybe we could do a collab.
Yeah, totally. So
Wasted
Death and Tories of Doom.
Exactly.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm serious. I'll show you the logo.
Yeah.
What, is that going to be a band?
No, it's going to be just I sort of see it as a, I don't know what it,
it could be an art project.
That's what it is really. I can't see it. Put it on t-shirts and stickers.
It's a make. It's
a make.
You've
got to start with the merch. You sell the merch. If you can sell the merch, then you can be a band.
I see it as stencils.
Yeah.
Stencil stickers, and then I kind of thought it'd be really. I had this idea. It'd be really great if someone could like do a skateboard deck with like Pretty Patel's face on it. And then you could just do board slides.
Yeah, exactly.
Scuff
the fuck up.
That'd be the art project.
Hateboards already did that.
Did they?
Hateboards.
Yeah, it's pretty aptly named. Yeah.
Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber.
Well, mine would be
Farage,
okay.
Donald Trump, and Kanye West.
And did they do the thing about destroying them?
Just basically skate the hate away.
Okay.
It was really good.
No such a damn. My whole empire is ended. I'm still gonna do Tories of Doom.
You can. It's
It's like a couple of people came by and they just went, "We're not even skateboarders, but we'll have the whole set."
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, but it kind of, it just didn't. Well, I don't know what happened, but it was a really good idea, and then it just.
All right. Well, maybe.
He's gone.
I had this idea of Tories of Doom where you could have like a load of decks, so you could have like Pretty Patel, Jacob Rees-Mogg. You could have some like real stats about it.
Yeah.
Of the bad things they've done, and then you could have the last stat could be and is a complete cunt. That was my kind of idea. But anyway, I digress. Should we play some Toys of Doom? Toys of Doom t-shirts and stickers. Be ready in January 2021.
So it looks like, I think next we've got lined up Beak.
Let's go Lightning Bolt. I feel like Beak is good. It's great. I love Beak, but it's a bit too mellow.
Fine.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
happy
go
to
Lightning
do Lightning Bolt, man.
Yeah.
What a tune, man. Lightning Bolt just...
That's insane.
Yeah. I presume you've not seen Lightning Bolt before.
Me. Why do you presume that? You're like,
Just
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
I think we've spoken about. I think we've spoken about it before as well. Like,
well, we just worked out that we were at the same gig in 2005, I think, in Brighton.
Yeah,
there's weird, and it wasn't that busy, was it?
No, not
100 people.
Yeah. Not mega busy back then. Yeah, because Phil Collins 3 played as well. Like, I do remember them in Brighton. They were fucking awesome.
The Phil Collins 3. There was like 5 of them, and you sing.
What were we saying about Phil Collins the other week? As well.
We were saying that he looked like he was about to die, didn't we? Like, oh, that was it. Yeah, he hasn't showered in like years or something.
Really. This band were much cleaner. But they were one of Brighton's best bands.
They were amazing. Yeah,
they were so.
Phil Collins 3.
Don't Fight. Yeah, fuck. I know some people that I just recorded some stuff with some people that were in that band.
Oh right.
So and I think was the drummer in that band.
Yeah.
And he's got a new kind of D-beat band called The Tester that are really great.
Oh, let's check them out.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah, they played at the that venue on Holloway Road years ago.
Yeah.
Al Costa.
Yeah.
What was that?
I can't remember. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Not Nambucca.
Not Nambucca.
No, that's still there. Nambucca's still going.
Is it still shit?
It is still shit.
Yeah. It's a funny place, isn't it?
It's horrible. Horrible.
I think they pimped it out to the students, and then as soon as they did that, students were like, "Oh, we don't want to go there."
We played one of the worst Death Pedals gigs ever there, where it was like literally to no one, and we were playing, and I don't know what the sound man was doing. He decided to put the smoke machine on, and it was like literally, I just remember like we were playing, and Alex, our singer, just started laughing because like we couldn't see anything. It was just it filled the whole room with smoke, and we're just like. Oh, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, one of the first bands I was in in London played at Nambucca, and it was a similarly bad experience.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, there's good gigs and bad gigs in London.
I think
definitely a bad gig. Then there's Nambucca, yeah, damn straight.
There's a t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good actually. A set of t-shirts just dissing the shit venues. Yeah. I'd be well into that.
And they could pay the money. People buy them, and the money can go to the good
venues. But just one that says "fuck Bugbear."
Yeah.
I'd be well down with that.
So anyway.
So just getting really aggressive.
Yeah. So we've got how many tunes? Is it going to sort of?
I think we're going to wrap it up, man.
Yeah, one more tune.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah.
The Gaff. That was it.
The Gaff.
The Gaff. God, blimey. Yeah. Don't know that one.
But yeah, obviously, really sorry for those listening. The sound that was playing up.
No worries.
We'll be putting this out. We'll be putting out the stuff with Wayne out on Spotify. We'll try our very best. Hopefully, we'll be able to put something together. But I think we should definitely get you down again if you're up for it at some point.
Yeah, man.
Sure, man.
I've got loads more shit to talk.
I'm thinking the Gabba special for a start.
I really think we should. I would love to do that.
The history of Gabba.
Yeah, well, the history of the Gabba that I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could play.
You are.
Yeah. I could do you a really funny like wrong music special.
Yeah, man. That'd be a great thing.
Like with Happy Goth.
We do need before you get there. We do need you to choose speaking because like I just. In my head, when you were talking about that, I was thinking of. I remember watching a little like short documentary that was full of Dutch people talking about their love of Gabba, as they pronounced it, from the like 80s or something. I think yeah. And that got me thinking. We need Wayne to give us 2 opposing countries.
Opposing countries?
That I can not opposing.
What's that? Like people
not like war.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, we
could do that, couldn't we?
We can make it an extra. But just two countries that you think might be of interest for
I was thinking about this because I'm not quite sure how to choose because I'm not very good at geography. So I'm just going to go on Google Maps.
Do it. Yeah.
Close my eyes. Point somewhere. Hopefully, don't get the sea. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you got.
So I got something. Okay, New Delhi? Delhi?
Oh.
India. Okay, India is. Yeah, I was going to say that's quite specific. The New Delhi, the New Delhi punk scene.
Yeah, no, I would. Okay,
India.
Okay, I'm gonna go for another one.
India's one. That's a good one, actually. I like that. Yeah.
Where have I gone? I don't even know what that is. Where am I?
Even better.
I'm on the top of Asia. Is that Russia? Russia's fucking massive, so that makes sense that I put my finger on Russia. There was a chance, wasn't there? Should we choose somewhere else? Have you done Russia yet?
We haven't done Russia.
Okay, there you go. You got Russia.
Done Mongolia.
What
so Russia versus India.
Okay.
There we go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think, I'm happy for either of them to win.
No.
Yeah.
She'll be on it.
Yeah. So we had a band called Slobheads come in. And those guys were amazing. Yeah, Slobhead. They had like 2-piece. Just
listen back to their
they're from Staines.
Yeah,
they're from Staines. They're just proper geezers. 2-piece punk band. But you think your knowledge of geography is bad? Those guys were just like, no idea. So the competition I got from that one was Mongolia against Spain. And it won't surprise you to know that Mongolia came out on top of that one, because like, Spain was a little bit, maybe a little bit close to home. People were just like, not so interested. But no, I think India versus Russia is a good one. I think that would be cool. So.
Sweet.
Great. Yeah. So from me as well. Thanks very much for coming down, man. Like you've sort of been on my radar, both as someone involved in, audio and in sound, recording and stuff, and then with the bands
capturing a racket.
Yeah, well, exactly. And then the kind of bands that that you get through your doors and stuff, and the kind of bands that we book, they just seem to be like a really nice connection there. So
nice.
Pleasure to really, properly meet you. And
Thank you so much for having me.
And then tell us about your final tune. And so we got Joe Walsh, Life's Been Good.
So this is just like pure like lockdown song. Like one of my best mates, Aaron, who hopefully he's still listening. I think he's pretty pissed somewhere.
Fair.
We spent a lot of time chatting with each other over lockdown, and I think quite a lot of people have kind of found these relationships that you need during lockdown to kind of rely on each other when you're just like, oh fuck, what the hell's going on? Aaron has been like really important to me, but I think he got really pissed and was just playing this tune at me. And he was talking about this like weird middle section, and I don't know, I just kind of like really enjoyed the song, and it's just been one of those lockdown songs, and it's about 9 minutes long. Perfect. It's ridiculously long. I don't know, it's a really old song that I didn't really know but kind of knew of, and I've listened to it nonstop over lockdown, and
sounds like a perfect
kind of ender. I think
let's do it, man. So thanks again, and looking forward to hearing it.
Cheers.
here comes a flock of wah-wahs. Wah, 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 wah.